Yeah, this video might be a little chaotic, a little disorganized, but this can be the process to getting organized. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and this is Woolen Words. Forgive my voice if it sounds a little funny. I've been sick, but I'm feeling better finally, so I wanted to film this video, but I have been feeling the itch, the call of sewing, and it has been years, maybe closer to 3 years since I've sewn anything. And part of that was because we were in an apartment. I didn't really have a lot of space to put my sewing machine or really like piece together anything. I just didn't have a lot of space. So now that we're in our house and I have this whole room to craft as I please, I feel like I've been missing it. I really feel like I've been wanting to make stuff. And I look at it. It's a mess. I feel like I need to refresh everything that I have. I have some embroidery stuff. I have some sewing patterns. I have fabric, thread, different things, all kinds of stuff in here. And I feel like I just need a revamp. And it, I don't know. It just doesn't, it looks bad. Long story short, it looks bad and I'm uninspired by that. However, I want to make a lot of stuff. Right now, my idea is to kind of reevaluate how I am storing everything because it's not working and I need to figure out why. And I think a huge thing is that I can't see what I have and it's hard to get to even if I could remember what I have. I think another thing for me is that I have some finished projects here. So this whole shelf right here is just crochet projects that are finished and done, but I just need a place to put them. These shelves are what I could fit in this room and what I have. So I want to make the best of them. But these plastic bags, I can do better, you know? And I also don't want to have stuff on the floor. That's a huge problem for me right now, is that if I'm working on something, it just ends up on the floor because I don't have space on the shelves to put current works in progress on the shelves. One thing that I really want to stress, or that I really want to like point out, is that I don't have a budget to go and buy stuff to reorganize this. I really want to just use what I have and figure out a system without having to go and get stuff. Yeah, this video might be a little chaotic, a little disorganized, but this can be the process to getting organized. And I think the biggest thing about organizing that I stress to people is that you can't just organize things once and be done with it. You have to find out what works for you and you have to build a system around what works for you. Because just because something works for me does not mean that it'll work for everybody. And if your brain works differently than mine does, then we probably won't share organizing strategies. But that is the beauty of it. And yes, it can be disorganized. But in the end, we will have something better than this. So let's get to it. First thing that I want to show you is I have these embroidery hoops and I want to hang them up. I think they are so fun and so pretty, and plus they're just really big to store on a shelf or in a box somewhere. So I think it would be fun to hang them up. I don't know if I want to hang them up on these shelves or if I want to find a spot maybe on my walls to make a little collage or something. And I also have some sock blockers that I would probably hang up with those as well. So we will figure out a spot. So when I'm organizing at this point is when I brainstorm and try and take stock of what I have. So what I'm doing is going through all of my sewing stuff, trying to figure out what I actually have and what I need to keep, if I need to get rid of anything. and grouping together like categories. So it turns out that I had quite a few things in quite a few places. So I'm just condensing everything, putting everything in one spot, and then separating my sewing from my embroidery, from my crochet, and combining like my buttons and my needles and my pins, just so that everything is in one spot and I can figure out, or that'll help me figure out how I can organize it all and how I'm gonna put it back on these shelves without taking up so much space. And this is also the point where I'm kind of thinking in my head and also trying to look around me and seeing what tools do I have, what bins, what baskets, what little bottles do I have, little jars or something that I can keep stuff in. If I need a container or if I need to get rid of a plastic bag, like what can I put this in, or how can I use what I have to organize this instead of just leaving it where it's at or making more of a mess. And then I'm also trying to think of like what would solve my problems that I knew I had in the first step. So once you figure out your problems, you can try to start solving them and figure out like, okay, if I need to see what I have, then maybe I should just put my fabric on the shelves. If I know that I have buttons in 4 different places, do I have a container that fits all of them? Or is the reason that I have them in different spots because I don't have a container to organize them all in one spot? So since we took the time to figure out what our problems are, now is the time to kind of let your brain start thinking about how to solve those problems. I kind of wanted to talk about this because while I was sick, I was so sick that I couldn't go to work for 2 days. So I sat and watched YouTube for those entire 2 days. That's literally all I did. And it was so fun. I found so many creators, so many fun videos of people sewing and decluttering and revamping their rooms, their spaces. And it really inspired me, and it was like, you know what? I haven't sewn anything in a really long time, and that sounds really fun. But I also am inspired to like embroider more or get back into it because I haven't done a lot of it, but I really do like it. I think it looks so beautiful and like personal. I feel like it's a very personal touch to add to clothes, or even when you're mending clothes. So I really want to get back into it. I want to get better at it. Okay, so I've made some progress. I'm really happy with what I have done so far, but I think I'm gonna call it a day. I know it's still a mess, but I need to brainstorm. I need to keep thinking because I'm at a standstill right now. I'm at a standstill right now, and I don't know where to go from here. I need to keep brainstorming, keep pondering it, let my subconscious come up with some ideas, and tomorrow we're gonna get it done. Okay, so we are back for day 2 of this project. I did have some ideas last night. After I stopped filming, I feel like my brain was still trying to figure out the solutions to my problems, which happens a lot. And I feel like that's a big part of my organizing journey, is that I don't come up with these ideas like on the spot. It takes time to like process and think and brainstorm and kind of come across things that I already have or that I could repurpose. And that's exactly what happened. So I have some ideas for the yarn that I put in this tin yesterday. I do love this and I think it's really cute, and I want to use the tin for something, but I found this vase that I took all the flowers out of. So I'm just gonna clean this out, and I think that my yarn scraps will look really nice in here, and then you can see them and it's like a decoration too. I think that'll be really fun. And then I found another container. I found this basket that I was just using as like a decoration, but I'm thinking that I could find something to put in here. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but I have this that I wasn't using. So the third step in organizing for me is definitely trying things out. This is very much trial and error. I rearrange and rearrange so many times in this video, and I don't even know if you see all of it, but I ended up putting things on the shelves so many times and taking them off and rearranging them just to find what spot works best or what container worked best. There were definitely a few moments of trial and error, so don't be afraid to try things out and it not work out. That's just how it goes. And there are so many points where I put things in a basket just to find out that the basket was not big enough. And I think not only does it work, as in does it fit the stuff that you have, but does it look good? Do you like the way that it works? Do you like the way that it looks? And if so, then great. But if not, then let's try something else and figure out how to solve your problems. And definitely this is the point where you're combining any categories that you have that can be combined. I put some trimmings and elastic and stuff with my embroidery stuff because I didn't have enough of it to make its own category, but I knew that I would know that it's there if I needed it, and it's a good spot for me to keep it. And the last step, I think the most satisfying part, is cleaning up. So any trash that you've accumulated or anything that's out of place, maybe if you need to like vacuum or something, just make the area tidy. Now that you have organized it, you definitely don't want any extra things lying around, and just makes the whole thing that much more satisfying in the end. It's done! I think I'm pretty happy with this. I think there might be a couple things that I would do differently if I were maybe purchasing some things for this. But because I wanted to do it on a budget of $0 for free, completely stuff that I already had, which I think I did a pretty good job. I feel like I was pretty resourceful in this video. I did not do those things that I would have done, but this is still really, really good. It's a really big improvement from where I was before. But we did it! I organized all of my stuff. I feel so much better. I always feel so much lighter, so much more inspired when I have an organized, pretty space. So I'm very excited that I got this done, and thank you for coming with me on this journey. You have supported me more than you will ever know on this organizing journey. And I hope I've inspired you to maybe organize your stash or craft room. If you do, definitely let me know. Let me know what kind of storage you have, what you prefer, how you have things, because I'm always interested, and it's good to get more ideas. You know, you never know what will and will not work for you, so definitely leave more ideas in the comments. But again, I am so glad to have you here. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to this channel for more content from me, and hopefully we will have some sewing, knitting, crocheting, all the things. And if you would like, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry in the description below. There's also a link to buy me a cup of coffee or contribute to my fund for future videos so I can have more content for you guys. I'm very, very excited to keep making videos, and I'm very excited to have you. Thank you so much for all being here. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye!